Welcome into the morning hookup, Bill Hooks YZ. I way to kick it off. A little fight for your right. Fight for your right.
Well, I think it kind of resonates with Nebraska football.
You got to fight for your right. Yeah. There'll be a theme that we'll talk a lot about today on the show. And we'll preview Nebraska Northwestern tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning. Thursday night football. Yuck.
Dang, there was football.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
But you were listening to a different football, which we're also going to talk about. Moti will join us 10:15, 10:20. High school brackets come out tomorrow, I believe, for the state playoff action. Big wins last night for a few teams. Talk about that. Also, World Series Game 1. Feels like it's been like a huge break for baseball. World Series Game 1. We'll talk about that. Preview that a little bit. Possibly Dr. Dane Todd. Don't know. He's a 50-50 shot today.
All right.
So we'll look at that. We'll talk him. We'll talk Nebraska volleyball. Big weekend for them. They're back on the court tonight, 6 o'clock, Northwestern. Is it Northwestern today? It's one of them. I don't even know. They got 2 matches.
I'll tell you real quick.
Today and tomorrow. Tonight and tomorrow night. 6, 7:30. Northwestern. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's tonight. I don't know. It's one. Tonight. That's Northwestern tonight, 6 o'clock. How about that? I'm going to stick to it. And that's what I'm going with.
Yep. And then tomorrow, Michigan State.
There you go. They continue to roll through. So that pans out. We'll give Husker score predictions as well. A lot of fun. A lot of you guys, too, if you want to call in 42489-1240. Give us a call. Say hi. Morning, Shane. Good morning. Right, 840. Notice this morning what I got?
Yeah, I was going to ask about it.
Not new. Not new. I mean, yeah, this is different. I came over early this morning. I was on this morning. I'm always up early, always 5 to 5:15, 5:30 at the latest, and I feel like my day is gone. But I went on 96 Kicks this morning, hung out with JP and Coriel this morning for a little hour and a half, had a lot of fun with them. But it just led me to like my routine, how routine I am.
Oh, yeah.
I feel tired right now. But it's just not anything normal. I'm always up. But I drove across this morning. And by the way, our city is alive early in the morning.
Oh, really?
I drove across town. I'm going to say I left about 6:30, roughly.
Oh,
and it was dark. So it was like a little weird for me. Because I'm always up looking outside and seeing the dark, but not driving in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I have a routine. I usually take my kid to school. Then I get coffee. Then I come over, right? But they were off today. It's quarter break. So I drove across, but there was a lot of people out, man. They're commuting to work early this morning. Traffic flow was great, but the city was alive.
That's far too early for my liking, but yeah, you can't find me driving out on the roads at 6:30.
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to get a chance to hang out with Coriel and JP over there, talk a little Husker, do a little fun with them. So that was fun.
There you go.
So I had to go out and like, all right, I got something. I had a little bottle of water, which usually I have 2. I had to go. As I slipped to the gas station, I went a little Orange Monster this morning.
I gotta say, seeing Bill Hooks drink a Monster Energy drink is something I never thought I would see. But
much needed right now. I don't know what it's going to be like later. I feel like it's going to be like I came out like this morning. I was like here, then I like started here. I wonder if it's going to go here and then be like Hopefully that's not the same emotions we get tomorrow.
Probably right before the 10 a.m. break, you'll be shaking a little bit, and then near the end of the show, you'll be like, all right.
Thank gosh, there might be a doctor coming into town.
Yeah.
Say hi to us.
Well, you brought up a good point about
the
roller coaster of Nebraska football.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such an interest. We talked a lot extensively yesterday about not more about X's and O's, but about desperation of a football team, about optics of a football team. How you need to I don't want to say you have to go prove it, but we need to take the fight to somebody one time.
Yeah.
What do the trenches look like? Northwestern, we know what they're going to do tomorrow. They're going to run the football. 190 on the ground per game. 2 of the last 4 games, I've written it down in their 4-game winning streak, they rushed for over 200. Against Purdue, they handed off 50 times.
Yeah. And a little bit of that is, having a lead in the game and, wanting to run the clock and right. You don't have to throw the ball when you're up that much, but still They're a team that can run the football, and they want to run the football. If you you can pretty much carbon copy and paste everything that Minnesota did last week. Northwestern's gonna they're the same sort of team, even from the coaching staff down to the players. They're a pretty much carbon copy of Minnesota.
Look, man, they again, we go back to this. They know who they are. They know what they want to do. They had a wake-up call in their season against Tulane when it wasn't going well. If you look at the tail of the tape, they have a decent quarterback back there. Not big-time arm, but makes good reads. You're going to see a lot of the inside RPO-type passing from him in this game. Man, their running backs are clipping it 4.5 and 4.9 on average. Woo!
Oh, he's a fifth-year guy. And like you said, he's not anything special. He's not going to wow you with anything that he does, but he's kind of perfect for the offense that they run.
I mean, right now he's a 60% clip, 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, so it doesn't dazzle you.
Yeah. He's had some turnover problems, but he's cleaned those up in the last couple of weeks, and he'll be serviceable, and he'll do what the team needs him to do.
Well, they found a way, which is it's Nebraska needs to do, is find a way to create the identity.
Yeah.
They know what they want to do. They saw that what they have at quarterback in Preston Stone.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few elite, big-time, like big receivers.
Yeah.
But you have bell cow running backs. One's going to tote the rock.
They have a 3-headed monster at running back, and they're going to give it to each one of them. And I was listening to a podcast of a guy who does Nebraska previews, and he was saying these guys kind of run in a stupid way, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's a stupid way that works for them because they run straight into guys, but that's just how they run. Like, they're gonna run right at people and try to run them over. So yeah, bell cow is the exact term to describe them.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. It's one that if Nebraska wants to win this game and do it in a fashion that I don't want to say be proud of, but you like, all right, score points, put the ball in the quarterback's hand, make him throw the football to come back.
Yeah. It can't be one of those matchups where well, it can't be Minnesota last week. Like, obviously, you can point out all the bad things, but the reality is, if that game you were still in it. Like, it was 14-6 at one point,
score going the fourth,
and you had a chance to but you can't put yourself in that situation where you are the one that has to come back and throw another punch.
No,
you have to be the one that is in control in the third quarter, and you're looking to put the game away, not scrapping, fighting, trying to find a way to come back.
It's a lot of pressure, this team, I think, to get off to a big-time start, fast start. I know we want to do that every game, but from the perspective of getting the fans are on your side, but keeping them there throughout the game, you got to get off to that good start. You got to can't get behind the chains. Be the tougher, be the aggressor.
And yes, the fans are on your side, but there's definitely a sense of uneasiness in a cloud of like.
Are you not walking down thinking about the game tomorrow, flipping it on 11 o'clock, whether you're watching it at home or you're downtown or you're walking the game? It's just
there's a weird vibe around the whole program right now. I think even with the fans, I think even maybe a little internally too, just having.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was thinking about this, I don't remember ever maybe like a Nick Saban type guy ever come out and openly, I want to say maybe it was criticize your assistants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if that was like part of the wake up call. I said it yesterday. The kids have underperformed at times.
Yeah.
But you're also coordinators are being paid handsomely. When you have deficiencies, work around them, fix them, correct them to a point of success. I look at the line and go, well, we have a problem at the line. Okay, well, what's the solution? You can't just go, well, we have a problem. We just leave the problem. What are you going to do to fix it?
Well, your point is it's not just the line. It's a whole bunch of other things, and including the coaches.
Mm-hmm. Which unit, they asked this yesterday, and I think it's a great question. Which unit is it more important tomorrow to have the most success? Which unit propels us in a way that it looks like Nebraska football?
Well, I think just the fact that you haven't seen the defensive line stop anybody in the run game all season, and Northwestern's going to try and run the game or try and run the ball. I think if you can stop that, you put yourself in a good position to win the game. So I would say the defensive line.
I like that. I like that. I think our offense as a whole needs to do something. I think defensively, you've been, I'd call it above average. Again, like you said, we walked into a one-score game in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah.
To me, it felt worse. As a fan watching, it felt worse.
Yeah, you're right.
But your offense just sputtered all day long. It never did anything. Like there wasn't, I mean, how many glimmers of hope were there?
Not much.
So I think offensively, you've got to turn this page. QB1, get back to being what you were against Michigan. You kept us in that game. You were the best player on the field. Dana put him in the plus situations to be successful, to make plays. And again, we're sitting up here as media members and fans saying this: move the pocket, run the ball, all the things we want to see.
Yeah.
Have you fixed the issues to be able to do the things that you want to do?
Yeah. We're definitely being a little bit of armchair quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun part of what we get to do.
Yeah.
But you see it. You see it. You want it. Right?
I think it's tough because you have seen that success from the offense. You've seen the glimpses of when this offense is clicking. It's like, whoa, these guys, like, this offense could be something special. But you've also seen the opposite side of it, of when it's completely off.
It's not.
When it's off the rails, ooh, it is disgusting to watch.
It's an interesting way to approach 11 o'clock tomorrow. Also, it's how do you get yourself up and get going?
Yeah.
At 11. Right? When you walk in the stadium, when you wake up, like what's your purpose? How you rolling? You know, if you walk into a stadium, it is sold out, okay? But if you walk into a stadium and it's a little sleepy to get started, how do you get started? Which is that there's that opportunity that it's a sleepy start of a stadium, right?
We've seen this team, fight in the fourth quarter and show that sort of overcoming adversity and winning mentality. This is a different sort of adversity that you have to overcome, because you had that last week. You had all the rumors with your coach in different coaching talks. You have to be able to flush all of that and say, okay, this is a new week. This is a new opponent. We're still 5-2. We still have
it's there.
We still have things that we can do this season. We have to focus on this week, and we have to take it to Northwestern. That's the mentality you have to have.
Then the mentality was you don't want to get caught in that side of going, oh, here we go again. 5-1 last year, 5-2. You'll get a dub. Like I said, there is a chance you walk in the stadium. It'll be full, but you might look up and go, man, there's a gap. There's a gap. There's a gap here. They'll be here. Students. A late Friday night? What time the students get going tomorrow?
Does this feel a little bit like Wisconsin to you last year?
In a must-win situation?
Yeah.
Yes. You need to play like the desperate football team, in my opinion.
Me too.
Because I think you look down the last four, the back four, there's no gimmies.
No.
USC, UCLA, Penn State, Iowa. There's none of that says, all right, chalk it up, we're going to get 6.
Exactly.
Justin, always there, man. I appreciate you. Terry Rozier wants to know what the line is tomorrow. Wow.
I'm sure we'll talk.
Good morning,
talk
Trevor.
more about that. That's an insane story.
That's a completely insane story. It's baffling. It'll be fun. 11 o'clock tomorrow. So, all right, let's take our first break. Speaking of baffling, watching Thursday night football last night. Boy, let's go look at that. That was ugly. But one team had a really good night. Talk about that and a whole lot more when we return. I used to drink a ton of Monsters.
Oh yeah,
I did. To the point of I like not stop, but I would like buy like the cases of them from Costco.
yeah. My roommate has those right now, and we work together. So before we go to work, he'd be like, "You want a Monster?"
Yeah, buddy. Used to bring him in, sit and student, and like just chug 2 of them. My wife was probably like, I don't know if that's like. She always started the conversation with "at your age." I'm like, thanks. Why do we got to start there? Why do we start with "at your age"?
Thanks for reminding me.
At your age. You know what, woman? Well, yeah, we'll get to that basketball. That is crazy stuff.
That was yesterday, like waking up and opening my phone. That was the first thing I saw. And like in today's world of AI and fake news and all this and that, I was like, oh, that's not real. And then I kept seeing more articles about it. I'm like, is this legit?
It's
like,
real life, man. It's real life.
And then more and more information started coming out. I'm like, X-ray tables,
the glasses,
contact lenses. Where are they even getting this technology?
The mafia, the mob bosses involved, their families involved.
It makes you think if there was like debts that needed to be paid, and that was sort of what was going on. Like they were getting controlled or something. I don't know.
I'm about to watch that tonight. Yeah, I caught myself watching Thursday night football last night.
Yeah, we had a little bit of it on our phones, but once it got out of hand, there we were like, there's not really much to watch here.
Just kind of an odd sports night. We finally got like a clunker, Thursday night clunker.
Primetime games haven't been anything too crazy since that Bills-Ravens game week 1.
And that, yeah. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Husker Homer Friday. Can't wait. I'm kind of fired up. Getting back downtown. One of the last 3 home games coming up.
When was our last 11 a.m. start?
Was that last year? No, we had one this year. We had one this year.
Because Akron was a night game. It had to be Houston Christian.
Houston Christian, I think, was an 11 o'clock start.
Was it?
I feel like we've already had one.
You would think at this point in the season.
I'm up more. I'm up early every morning, so I'm like, I don't even know. It had to be Houston Christian. It wasn't Cincinnati. Wasn't that? It had to be. Who knows? But we're doing it. We're doing it tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Minnesota Chargers last night. Wow. Minnesota needs to get the quarterback back. Was Carson Wentz was his left arm just hanging on by a thread?
I must have been.
They had 164 yards of total offense last night.
I don't know. I think his left arm was hanging by a thread. I think some of his brain cells were hanging by a thread.
My gosh, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 144. They legit only had, at one point, I don't know what point, this is in the first half probably, or whatever it was. At one point, they ran the ball. They had run 24 plays. And The Chargers had 20 first downs.
Ugh.
Dude, that's that. 164. They handed the ball only 11 times. Handed the ball. They had 34 total rushing yards in the game.
And the Vikings are supposed to have an actual really good defense.
They're beat up. I'll give them some of it. They are beat up. I mean, obviously at quarterback, McCarthy still looks like he was dressed. He'll be back in the coming week for sure. Wentz's was just not good, man. It was just bad. When you look overall, like total first downs, we're talking about it, 29-12.
Ugh. Yeah, that's really surprising to me because that Brian Flores defense in Minnesota has been pretty good.
Really good. Herbert was better last night. 18-25, 227, 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick in the game, but he was really good. Their overall thing just shows you what their offense is like. They want to run the football, and they're hurt there too.
Yeah.
They got 2 guys out, one out for the year, Harris out for the year, Hampton due back at some point. Was it Vidal last night? Vidal?
I don't even know how to say it.
Career night. 23 for 117, 1 touch. They ran the football effectively last night against a very tough team. They ran it for 207. Herbert had 60 himself.
Yeah, they handed it off. What quick math here? 36 times.
Yep.
To 3 different guys. Wow.
How about that?
23 to Vidal.
Yep.
However you say it. 11 to Patterson, and then 2 to Naheem Hines, who actually had negative yards, but they still had an identity and ran the ball 36 times. So I guess that was their game plan, and it definitely worked. Herbert really didn't have to do too much.
Boy, it was just ugly. 419 total yards, balance attack, 212, 207 on that side. Ladd, again, had another good night. 10 targets, 6 catches, 88 yards, a touchdown. Just not much to say. Just wild looking at that game. You're waiting for something, but there was nothing on that side. Obviously, when you're hurt and you're missing a bunch of people and your quarterback just not very good on a Thursday night. And a much needed, on the other side, much needed, I don't know what to call it, bounce back or just a win in general for the Chargers.
I'll call it a bounce back.
They were reeling pretty good.
Because I watched that game last week against the Colts. I don't know if they could have played worse. So, yeah, they definitely needed this one to get right at home. Herbert really had a bad game last week. Yeah, they take it to Minnesota. I didn't even realize the final score was 37-10. Wow, they really pulled away there in the second half. I will say, though, you brought up Ladd McConkey. I got Quentin Johnson on my fantasy team. Was he out on the field last night?
I don't know. They weren't targeting.
He brought in 0 fantasy points, so thanks, Quentin. Well, I guess it's more of a product of thanks, Justin Herbert, for not targeting Quentin Johnson.
Come on, can you find my man one time?
Yeah, at least one. Give me
I'm
one.
not asking for much.
I'd rather have, I don't know what's worse, having 0 fantasy points or having, something small. But I did have the Chargers defense, so I got a little bit back with that.
A little bit back. Well, yeah, they were pretty, shall I say, nice to you on the Vikings side for that. How many points did they get? I mean, seriously, they give up how many points? That'd be a decent amount. 15, 16 point defense.
It depends if there's any turnovers or anything like that. But I think in my league, they start with 10 points.
Yeah, because he had 1 pick.
Okay. So, yeah, 16.5.
Yeah, he had 1 pick.
There you go. I picked up Flacco this week. We'll see how that works out for me.
He's going to spin it against the Jets. Looking at the NFL slate this week, there's some decent stuff. It'd be interesting stuff. You got Bears, Ravens at noon. Can the Bears keep that thing rolling?
Ooh, Lamar coming back.
Is he back this week?
Yep.
Oh, boy. That's why that's a 6.5 point favorite of the Ravens at home. Can your Patriots continue their run right now against a very talented defense?
Yeah.
Not offense. Talented defense. They've been pretty good defensively against teams, but they'll be at home. 7-point favorites.
I think the line feels about right. But you're right. That defense is terrifying.
7-point favorites with a 40.5 over-under line.
Myles Garrett, Brandon Graham. They got some pieces in their secondary too. Yeah, that defense is gross.
12 o'clock slate as well. You got Giants, Eagles. Can the Giants do it again to the Eagles?
Ooh.
It's a 7.5 point favorite. They are in Philadelphia. AJ Brown questionable, I think, at this point in the game. Hamstring.
I think he wants out. I don't think he wants to be an Eagle anymore.
Did he say like it's like they're targeting me, but they're not, or they're using me, but they're not? Comment was weird. He's a weird one. Jets, Bengals. Can they continue to repeat? Hang on until Joe Burrow gets back. They're 6.5 point favorite against the terrible Jets. Niners on the road against Houston. Can Houston showed a little bit of something?
Wow,
that division's so interesting because you do not want to get too far behind. Because the Colts sit at the top at 6-1.
You see the line in that game?
The Texans are favored at home. That's interesting.
Raise your eyebrow a little bit.
How can you go against the Niners? They've been so good.
I know.
With like piecing it all together.
I know. It doesn't matter who they have out there. Shanahan finds a way.
Cowboys, Broncos. Elijah will be on the edge of his seat at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is it crazy to say that's the best offense in the league versus the best defense?
No, it's not. You're right on it. Marco has gave us the pick of the Broncos yesterday.
He's a defense guy, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
3.5 point favorite. Plus going to my house pretty tough. Boy, the Colts line, this is baffling. It's crazy how big that line is. The Titans head to Indianapolis with a 14.5 point line.
I mean, with the way both teams have played.
Indiana Jones been pretty good.
Like in the NFL, 14.5 points is a lot. But
that's a lot.
The Colts very well could win this game by 30.
The Packers are getting welcomed into Pittsburgh, playing against an old foe. An old Packer, Aaron Rodgers. Packers favored by 3 in Pittsburgh. Packers have not been the same of late.
No.
I mean, again, they're winning. They are 4-1-1.
They I think that team like plays down to their opponents a little bit. I think every week they've been like close with everybody, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Except for week 1 in Detroit. They kind of took it to Washington. But then since then, like, I don't know, I know you were on the road in Arizona, but you barely beat Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals. You let the Bengals hang around a little bit. You tie with the Cowboys. I don't know. That team, like, they're good, they're talented, but I think week 1, everybody was crowning the Packers, myself included, as NFC champions, and they just haven't been that same team since week 1.
They have not been the same. They find their ways back to see. I mean, again, I was one to deem them one of the best in the NFL, and then they still might be.
Me too.
They still might be. Monday Night Football, you'll get Commanders, Chiefs from it's Arrowhead. Yeah, it's still Arrowhead. But Marcus Mariota will be the quarterback with the Commanders with a big line, 12.5. And that one, Chiefs have started. It looks like they've turned that corner.
How do you feel about the situation? Well, I guess it's not New York. It's technically New Jersey. The New York Jets with the owner coming out and saying what he said about Fields.
He's crazy.
If I was Justin Fields, I wouldn't take another snap for that team.
Pretty much. Didn't he say it wasn't like, well, what are you going to do with a QBR rating like that?
Yeah.
Woo, wow.
Any coach would struggle with that.
That's some harsh words.
Coming out and saying that about your players publicly is I don't know. Some of these owners, they consistently find them. Well, he hasn't consistently found himself in the news, but these owners come out and say things like that. If I were a player, I would just say, I would stick it to him and say, I'm not playing for you.
A lot of these guys think that you own it, you can say it.
Yeah.
You don't have a place to go. Taylor behind him. Tyrod. Taylor right behind him. That's doomed to be a disaster, continued disaster. But you had that Chiefs game, Monday Night Football. Standing-wise, it's just interesting matchups. They start looking at the standings as we go through the NFL. Couple good games. Like I said, not good games, but looks like there's a 2-team race in the East, AFC East. Your Pats, the Bills, one game apart. Both have inferior opponents this week. The Bills are in Carolina. You guys are at home against the Browns. This North Division is so interesting when you look at it because of the injuries that are within it. Pittsburgh at 4-2, they came backwards. Big one for them last week to lose to keep the division tight. Flacco trying to mend that and lead that until Joe Burrow returns. 2-5, 1-5. Baltimore. This game feels like this week like an elimination game for Baltimore.
Kind of.
Like it's just you feel that. Not that it's over, but 1-6. Come on.
It's kind of like how Nebraska feels with the desperation sort of thing. You got to get a win.
I think it's the same way in the South. You look at Jacksonville, Houston, Tennessee, desperation time for wins. Because right now you're at 6-1, Jacksonville at 4-3, Houston 2-4. Desperation wins for Houston. The West is just continue to be stacked up. Denver 5-2, Chargers 5-3, Kansas City 4-3. Stacked up division right there. Right now they do give, if you look at percentage wise, and doesn't mean anything. I just from based on what's out, they give Denver 39% chance to win that division. Kansas City 33. Take for what it is.
If you had to guess the odds for the Ravens to win the AFC North, what would you say?
The North today, right now. It's going to be some obscure number, but it's going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. It's not at that good a value. Plus 500. Is it less than that? You got to be kidding me.
They're plus 145.
That's insane.
To win the AFC North.
That's insane.
They're 1-5.
Insane to me. Dallas in that division still as well. Much needed wins. 5-2 Philadelphia, 3-3 Dallas right now. Again, the other divisions too. Green Bay still sits at the top percentage point wise. 4-1-1. Detroit 5-2. Detroit has looked like the team of Detroit as of late. Chicago right there. All three of the four of them are in the plus side. 4-2 Chicago. Big one for them this weekend. As always, the South looks mixed upside down. There's 5-2, 4-3, 3-3, 1-6 New Orleans. And then the other one, boy, San Francisco, Arizona, San Francisco, Seattle, the Rams, 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. Woo. A lot of fun to be had coming up.
Who's better, the NFC West or the NFC North? That's a tough discussion right there. You got the Packers, Lions, Bears all at 4-1, 5-2, 4-2. Or the NFC West, the top three, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, all at 5-2. That's a tough discussion.
It's a tough discussion. I'd probably nod the West on that side. On the NFC side, I'd nod the West right now because I'm not solely for me. Optically going, the Bears are in that much of a contention. Now, they could change it. They could change the narrative this week, right? But right now, I'd say that. It's the same conversation I think you could probably have. I mean, that's so odd. Like, what about the AFC West?
Yeah.
Right now, you'd say that the team that's in third place currently is playing better than anybody in the league. And the Chargers, dropped a couple in a row, and then they're back to that number. Denver's been squeaking fourth. I mean, giving up fourth quarter leads early on, and then they get a 33-point fourth. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, Denver could possibly be undefeated right now if a couple things went their way.
And then you also look at the North and you second guess yourself on who's the best team in the North.
You talking AFC North?
Yeah. Who is it? Is it Pittsburgh? Yeah. They look okay. Cincinnati been hurt. They're hanging in there 3-4. Baltimore on paper, when everybody's healthy, they're the best team. But they're 1-5. Still a 12% chance to win the division, 16% chance to make it to the playoffs.
I guess there is a lot of football left.
There's a lot of football left.
Those numbers seem like you're gonna have to win a couple in a row, I think, if you're Baltimore.
Justin said, I feel like they really dislike Carson Wentz last night by keep on trotting him out there. Yes. Shane, Vikings had McCarthy, Daniel Jones, and Sam Darnold in their quarterback room last year.
Ooh.
Morning, Greg. Yeah, Minnesota could have used Brucey last night, Justin. You're right. What else we got here? Oh yeah, that tight end last night for
Chargers.
What's his name? Gadsden. He was good last night. Really good pickup there. Packers Steelers not being at Lambeau is a shame. Yeah, I agree, Trevor. Yeah, there you go. You can live that life. Trevor says, as a Packers fan, they stress me out as much as the Huskers.
Man. Yeah, some people get like a little. They can relax on Sundays after watching a Nebraska game, and then Trevor has to endure two forms of pain.
Shane, I agree. I do agree that NFC the best division in football. 3 teams at 5-2, and I think you got 2 of the best coaches in there too.
McVay.
What Shanahan has done with like half their roster out.
You got Mac Jones throwing to Kendrick Bourne. Like they're just finding a way, and that's all. It's literally all coaching.
Randy Ford said, I wonder if manager Miss Hooksy is going to move Bill out of the cleanup spot and start batting him 9th. What did I do? It's a typical husband question when you don't know. What did I do? Why are you mad? Why are you looking at me like that? Good stuff. A lot of football left. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, and it's a big night. There's a lot of sports. World Series Game 1 from Toronto. Let's talk about that when we return. I just wonder in that series, is there anybody out there really thinking that you got to play the game. You got to play the game, and at least 4 of them. Do the Blue Jays have a real chance?
Well, Bo Bichette officially on a World Series roster.
Yeah, let's go. It's a good one to get back, but man, how are you going to knock that rust off?
Yeah, it's tough. We started making our kids bring their grades.
Yeah, talk about grades. Let's go.
And it was simple. Basically, just told them bring your grades. We actually really don't care what they're like. We're
just an accountability.
Just told them have to have at least a C in each class. And
I feel like there's a moment. You ever seen the movie Coach Carter?
Yeah.
I feel like you're at that moment.
Yeah.
Progress reports.
Well,
grades.
There was one kid
who
didn't bring them.
Uh-oh.
One kid.
I forgot him.
Oh, no. If you knew this kid, he didn't forget anything.
I forgot. It's on me, Coach.
He's the type of kid where we'll be in the middle of a game. It'll be 4-3, 5th inning, close game. Everything's tense. And he'll look at me and, Caleb, do you have aura? And I'm look over in the dugout like, what did you just say to me?
Yeah, aura, bro.
He's man, I love that kid, but he's got a few screws loose.
That's awesome. Unfortunately, just got the word. No Dr. Dane Todd today.
All right, he's got
He's busy. Delete. I have day today too. I forgot to. That's what. Hold on a minute. That's what's wrong. See, out of sorts. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Husker Homer Friday. We get geared up to be downtown or watching it. Northwest and the Wildcats coming to town. Also tonight, game 1 of the World Series, the Fall Classic. We're going to get some baseball. You need a multiple TV night going on in the world tonight. Dodgers, Blue Jays. Blake Snell, 32 years old, making his 4th start of the 2025 postseason. He has been amazing.
To put it lightly.
Listen to what he's got. It's incredible. 3 starts. His ERA is .86, 28 strikeouts in 21 innings.
Yeah, that'll be the biggest.
My goodness. He's coming off that performance where in game 1 he struck out 10, went 8.
That'll be the biggest story out of this is the pitching for the Dodgers. You have Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, and Ohtani. Those 4 could very well win you every game. They have a 1.4 ERA during these playoffs so far. Those combined 4.
Oof. On the other side, how do you say the kid's name? Yesevich? He's getting a start tonight. Talk about action-packed, little pressure action. Yesevich, he is set to become. He's 22 years and 88 days old. To become the 2nd youngest Game 1 starter in the World Series history. That goes back, by the way, and a credit. I'm reading the CBS article. Ralph Branca of the 1947 Brooklyn Dodgers was younger. Yesevich is only made, by the way, since his call-up, he's made 3 regular season starts. And in those starts, 3.21 ERA, 16 strikeouts in 14 innings. He didn't make 3 starts in the playoffs, by the way. He has amounted to 4.2 ERA, 22 strikeouts in 15 innings.
Well, you brought it up in the break.
How is this going to happen?
Yeah. Is there anybody out there
tell me how this happens?
That's thinking the Blue Jays have a shot? I mean, it's baseball.
It is.
You and
gotta
I
play a stupid game.
You played it. We've both coached it. It's a game to where even if you have more talent than the other team, I guess that's any sport too, but especially baseball, things can just go awry. It's a weird game. You can have a walk, a little bloop single, bring in a couple runs, and I don't know. There's so many weird things that can happen, but when you look at just on paper, obviously the Dodgers are huge favorites.
Huge. Ginormous. Maybe one of the biggest out there. You did mention Bo Bichette. He is on the roster. They don't quite know his role yet. He hasn't played in 7 weeks.
Yeah. And that's a tough thing in baseball.
From everything you read right now, he's been doing live stuff. They're checking range of motion. He's their everyday shortstop. They've actually tried him at second base. Never played. I think they said he's played 1 game at second base, and it was in the minors in his career. But it'd be a huge addition if they can get him back to, 90% health. He did end this season 311, 18 home runs, 94 RBIs. Also, it could be a DH. You just don't know what his role is going to be in this mix, but it will have a nice addition to have at least the bat back in the lineup. Again, 7 weeks of game action off is tough. Any sport, anything you do.
We don't know.
To me, it feels like when I go on vacation, I come back, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah. When you don't have consistent reps, it's very hard to
makes it real
put
tough.
All that together. And the Dodgers, not the Dodgers, the Blue Jays still have, incredible pieces. Don't forget they still have George Springer, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Those guys are incredible, but just the Dodgers, man, up and down that lineup, and then the rotation is really where it gets you. Like I mentioned, those 4 guys that they have, and then you can go in the bullpen. And you can bring in Sasaki, you can bring in Trinan, you can bring in Vesia will be away from the team, but there's pieces in that bullpen that just the way you can go from a starter like that to a dominant guy coming out of the pen, and then having a closer that they do like. That's what's going to be tough is if the Blue Jays can find some offense.
And they're going to need a lot of it.
A lot of it.
I mean, they're going to have to get, I mean, honestly, like this isn't like painting the picture like it's never going to happen. It can't happen. You got to play the game. But man, when you look at this, you're talking about, you just do all the pitching out there. And having to get average, you got to get above average pitching from the Blue Jays. You got to hit out of the cover off the baseball, score some runs. And then you look over and go, man, they got great pitching. Look at their lineup.
Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Hernandez.
You have every postseason hero on that side. Are you on the side? I had this discussion with my kids. Is it Toronto? Are you pulling for Team Canada, Team Billionaire, whatever you want to call them? Not the Yankees, geez. The Dodgers, they spent a lot of money to get that team. They're a likable billionaire team.
Yeah.
I said that. My kid's like, come on. I'm like, they're very likable. What's there not to like about Shohei Ohtani? Betts, the way he plays the game. Freddie Freeman, most likable guy in maybe the entire baseball.
Mm-hmm. I miss Mookie Betts so much as a Red Sox.
I was going to say.
Yeah, man, he's one of my favorite players in the league.
You're just Mookie.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It is.
They're hard to dislike.
It's a whole different discussion talking about how the Dodgers built this team and how it's bad for baseball and how there might be potential lockout coming in the next couple of years. But when you look up and down at the roster, like it's not any of the players' fault. Like you still have to. I respect everybody on this team. I've talked about the pitching a lot too. Even Yamamoto's likable. Glasnow's likable. None of these guys are arrogant, cocky sort of guys. They just so happen to be on a very expensive baseball team.
Very expensive baseball team. Everybody likes the good underdog story. Everybody likes the good low payroll story.
Yeah.
And the story of the Blue Jays not being there since 1993 and someone that gets to go on a regular basis to the Fall Classic.
I wonder how much of an effect the Blue Jays crowd will have in this.
They'll be fired up.
Just because, like you said, they haven't been there in so long. It should be a ruckus environment. But I don't know how much a ruckus environment will outweigh talent.
Have you seen the odds for World Series MVP?
I'm going to guess Ohtani is close to minus odds.
I'm going to double check real quick.
It will probably still be plus odds, but
I think it's plus odds. I just want to double check and just see where they've got. I saw a deal there. Yeah, it's correct. So you got Ohtani coming off the board at plus 180.
Not even 2-1. Yeah, about where you expected it.
After that, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. plus 600.
Yeah,
and then there's the next tier, they call it. The next tier, now you're into like Freddie Freeman plus 900. George Springer plus 1,000.
Might as well just
Captain Insanity.
If you're looking for value, throw something on a Blue Jays player.
I don't know, just for fun, but I don't want to say don't waste your time, but
yeah.
Greg, come on. Said Hooksy's a pitcher. He always bats ninth. Wow. Yeah, I think right. I think they'll win a game or so. They will get a game. I just don't think it's going to be where it's going to be at. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. When we come back, Jeff Moats, a whole lot more Huskers, and a whole lot of you. We'll be right back.
MD brand weather stripping from Menards. Create a comfortable living space and seal in the heat with the largest selection of in-stock weather stripping with over 100 products available to take home and start saving on energy costs today. Save big money in all weather stripping at Menards and check out our weekly flyer on menards.com. for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop. Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
Make hauling easy with the MWC Park Can Easy Dump. This satellite dumper goes where big garbage trucks can't and can haul everything from trash to yard waste to recycling. The fully automatic Easy Dump fits in the back of a standard pickup truck, so there's no need for a CDL license. Perfect for alleys, gated communities, condos, parks, anywhere. Come see the Easy Dump yourself at MWC Can in Lincoln, or go to MWC-can.com today.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades. eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. New York Attorney General Letitia James appearing in a Virginia courtroom this hour for the first time on mortgage fraud charges brought by the Trump Justice Department. ABC's Pierre Thomas is outside the courthouse.
James expected to plead not guilty to allegations that she misled a bank in order to get a more favorable mortgage loan. A longtime Trump nemesis, James was indicted even though a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney declined to prosecute her. That U.S. attorney was then replaced by U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, who had no prosecutorial experience. Halligan sought the charges anyway.
ABC News, with new reporting, the career prosecutors overseeing the case wrote a memo expressing concern they might not be able to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announcing another strike on what the Pentagon says was a drug smuggling boat. That makes 10 strikes so far, more than 40 people on those boats killed. Inflation is up. Prices 3% higher than a year ago and nearly 3% higher from a month ago, too.
This report is out 9 days late because of the government shutdown. The government only called workers back to compile this report because this particular inflation report is used to determine the cost of living adjustment for Social Security benefits next year. The White House just moments ago came out and said, do not expect the inflation report for November to be released if the government shutdown continues.
ABC's Alexis Christoforous. After President Trump abruptly canceled talks with the country's second biggest trading partner, Canada, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney reacted today.
For months, we have stressed the importance of distinguishing things we can control and things we can't control. We can't control the trade policy of the United States.
The president angrily reacting to an ad that the Ontario government put out that includes sound from a 1987 Ronald Reagan address. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A death investigation continues at a Northeast Lincoln home. Good morning. I'm Jeff Moat, still at 52 degrees at KFOR. What we know so far is that a woman in her 40s was found dead inside her home near 56 and Holdridge on Thursday morning, and a man in his 40s is in police custody. Assistant Lincoln Police Chief Jason Stilley told KFOR News and other reporters near the scene in the 1600 block of DeWeese Drive. Family members of the woman had not seen her in a couple of days and became suspicious. As for the relationship between the two,
we are looking into the relationship of the male that was found inside the home, as well as the relationship with the female, and see what we find out.
We had just wrapped up a briefing, though, with Lincoln Police. We'll have the latest on this up on our webpage at KFORnow.com and in later newscasts. On Thursday, Governor Jim Pillen gave an update on the progress made at the work ethic camp of McCook that's transitioning into holding illegal detainees to support ongoing efforts by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and ICE. Pillen said the facility underwent a final walkthrough by ICE and inspectors this week and was approved for use. The head coach of the NBA's Portland Trail Blazers and a player for the Miami Heat were arrested Thursday along with more than 30 other people in a takedown of two sprawling gambling operations that authorities said leaked inside information about NBA athletes and rigged poker games backed by mafia families. Michael Franzese is a former crime boss and talked to KFOR Sports about past point shaving scandals, including one in 1979 with the Boston College men's basketball team.
Quite often, we would get an athlete, we would coerce him into, remember, it's all about shaving points. It's not about winning or losing. It's about affecting the spread. And that's the biggest thing you use to get into an athlete's head, because they don't believe that they're blowing the game. They don't believe that they're really hurting the team. You know, it's a gambling issue. It's a chance for them to put some money in their pockets.
In the latest development, Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups is accused of conspiracy to fix high-stakes card games that cheated unsuspecting gamblers out of $7 million. Heat guard Terry Rozier is accused of exploiting private information about players to win bets on NBA games. Still a good chance of showers here through the day, otherwise cloudy and a high of 57. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
Ready to rock? Seriously, how do you score these tickets? Easy. My Members Own credit card. I get points back for every $1 I spend. So just buying your usual stuff turns into concert tickets? Yep. All thanks to Members Own Credit Union. Groceries, gas, online shopping. It's like, ta-da, points. Or presto, rewards. Get a credit card with a little bit of magic in every tap. Go to memberzonecu.org/presto for details. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
I'm Cindy Martin Green, and when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, our world changed forever.
This experience made me so passionate about spreading awareness of treatment options, including clinical trials. I'm joining Stand Up to Cancer to get information to those who have been diagnosed with cancer and their loved ones. Clinical trials introduce new hope for patients, providing access to cutting-edge new treatments. Talk to your doctor to see if a clinical trial may be the best choice for you or a loved one. To learn more, visit standuptocancer.org.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Hope your Friday is off to a great start. Coming to a nice, good conclusion as we get ready to wake up early. Watch Nebraska take on Northwestern tomorrow. Boy, tell you what, some people waking up this morning going, what in the NBA is happening? That broke yesterday about when we were on the air a little bit later in the hour. I can only describe this as mind-boggling.
Well, I told you in the break that it was about when I was waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I open my phone and I see that, and I'm thinking, in today's day and age, with all the AI stuff that we have and fake news and all this and that, I'm like, oh, this isn't real. This is a fake story.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep seeing more articles. I'm like, oh, this is legit. This is a real thing. We have an NBA coach, current standing NBA coach, involved in an illegal poker scheme where there's not just rigged games, but there's X-ray technology and contact lenses to see marked cards and
mafia controlled.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like this.
He was
ever.
bringing people in. I think the losses are upwards of $7 million in rigged poker games. That's one side of it. You got Terry Rozier.
That one's mind-boggling too.
He's part of investigation in bettors using non-public information such as when a player would miss a game. There's 7 different games are part of the investigation. Faking injuries, getting out. By the way, there's also now there's reports out there. It's such an interesting thing. The NBA caught wind of this as well. We're informed.
That's where I was.
But according to the NBA, they were unable to execute or do things like they
legally
were bound by something or some sorts where they couldn't divulge the information. They couldn't remove Rozier. He didn't play the rest of the year.
And they said it was because of an injury.
Yes,
but
fake injury.
But it wasn't an injury. He was held out from the league because
the league was unable to bring it. I don't know. There's so much there to look at. Then you got the situation with Damon Jones, NBA 11-year NBA vet. He's been charged with both about the rigging operation, the illegal poker games. He's also been allegedly passing information along in regard to 2 Laker games that are under investigation, that he was sharing information based on the fact that LeBron James wasn't playing in the games. LeBron has, not aware, I'm not indicating LeBron James. LeBron is saying he's unaware. He's unaware of the information being shared. It's wild.
I was talking with Elijah last night about this. It's probably tip of the iceberg, I think. There might be some more things coming out about this, and maybe even some other situations going down.
There's a dog out there. I just don't call it.
Oh, really? I want to see a dog. Yeah, there's it's a story that's gonna keep developing, and there's gonna be more things coming out about it. And there's probably gonna be more people involved that might raise some eyebrows and be like, wow, I would have never thought this guy's name would be in the news. The Terry Rozier one, really, actually both of them. Greed is a crazy thing.
Oh man, he made 100. Now, contract money, $160 million.
That's what I'm saying. Chauncey Billups played 17 years in the NBA, and over his time,
Champ.
he made over $100 million in the league just off contract.
And he's sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
The game that he gave so much to and gave so much to him.
You make that much money, and so it starts to make you think, like, is there something underlying as to why these guys were involved with this? Was there blackmailing going on? Was there something like why even be involved in something like that if you make that kind of money? It like you said, it's mind-boggling, it's baffling, whatever word you want to come up with. I'm struggling to find the words.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And again, I think it's not caught. I mean, probably caught the NBA. No, not the NBA by surprise, but all of us that love that game and watch NBA.
Yeah.
And again, I'm like you. It's what next? What now?
Yeah.
Tim Donaghy, the ref,
yes,
who was involved in an elaborate scheme, which placed him behind bars for a while. Question how deep it goes, and his tip of the iceberg comment was, how far does this go into the college world with this type of stuff for college kids making money and ones that aren't going to make it to the league?
Scary.
It's a very scary world with the prop betting, with the all of that stuff.
Well, you tune into any professional sport now, and you get a commercial for, sign up for DraftKings, use this code. Oh, here's a FanDuel parlay at halftime. Here, like, they're promoting gambling. They have partnerships with all of these gambling companies, and then you have guys that are in your own league betting on games. It's created a very big problem that's going to be hard to come back from.
A huge problem, a huge black eye for the sport, for them. Those things. I was listening to a show the other day. It's like I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Why would you put your family in those situations? Why would you do that? Now, consumer trust falls way away when you have alleged schemes like this. Not the poker stuff, but the rigging of games, the information sharing, all of that within the sport. Consumer trust goes away within that sport.
Yeah, especially when there's already fans out there that believe that the sport is rigged, and that
or that certain ones run the league.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's like the WWE. It's all scripted. And then you have things like that, like the tinfoil hat guys are coming out of the woodworks and saying, "See, I told you so."
Told you so. Told you so. There's already videos out there now about the, I forget where I saw it. It's on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, of the word on the poker street in Vegas was that they already knew about this scheme with Chauncey Billups.
Yep, there's professional
been talked about.
There's a guy on Reddit who came out 2 years ago. He's a professional poker player, and he was talking about it. Yeah, X-ray technology.
That's the thing that it's baffling.
They had
how far this goes.
They had shuffling machines that could bring out whatever cards they want. They could mark cards so that they could see what other people had. You're stealing from innocent people. Like,
it's incredible.
It's
upwards of $7 million is the alleged amounts right now.
Yeah, and they said there's like 30 people involved, including mafia members, and there's probably going to be some more NBA players, not exactly players, but people involved in the NBA that'll be part of this investigation. Yeah, it's one of the more wild stories.
It's wild, and there's more to come from that.
Yeah,
it ain't done. They'll continue going down there now with the NBA and all that stuff. So before we get out for Mo's, boy, talk about like stealing from I don't want to call it stealing, but they stole a game away from people. The SEC, see this SEC official, SEC has suspended referee Ken Williamson for the rest of the season following his cruise performance in the Georgia win over Auburn.
Good.
Accountability, right now. Obviously, there was a few moments in that game. Georgia ends up winning it 20-10, but there was the one where Jackson Arnold appeared to score before the ball was knocked out of his hands on the goal. It's clear, by the way, when you look at it. They ruled a fumble on the field. Call was upheld. My goodness, how do you uphold that call? And then the one that you all remember, if you read or watched it, was Kirby Smart calling a timeout.
I was just clapping.
It showed him look like he's calling a timeout.
Oh yeah, he made the signal.
So suspended for the rest of the year. Don't expect to have him back. Finally, there's an accountability. There's always got to be accountability in every situation, and you got one there.
Yeah, I think there needs to be something done about Big Ten refs to Nebraska.
All the holds that get called. My goodness.
Well, listen. Last week
don't get called.
Last week against Minnesota, Nebraska did not lose because of penalties.
Nope.
But since Nebraska has been in the Big Ten, we have gotten screwed by officials.
There were 3 egregious third down plays that didn't get
called. Oh, yeah, that extended their drives, and they go and score on every single one of them.
Yep.
But like I said, Nebraska didn't lose because of that. But something needs to be done.
Something needs to be done. You know what's going to be done right now? We're going to take a break because it is that time. The Almanac, Jeff Moats coming up. X-ray tech. That's baffling. Did you see on Get Up yesterday? The graphic, they were like, so they had you can see it's up on Twitter and everything. I wasn't watching, but I saw they got breaking news and it's Greeny up there, Rosier Billups. They got the headline. And at the bottom, they're running ESPN Bet logos. And then somebody recognized it because it disappeared during the middle of the segment. Even last night, like on I watched it. I didn't watch it there. I watched it on Twitter. Was it the TNT crew, the OT, Chuck and those guys? Somebody brought up the fact that Blake Griffin tied Terry Rozier in threes. Jeez. They're like, I think Chuck said, I think we ought to go to break now. I think we better go to break.
God, did you see what Kendrick Perkins said on the air?
No, I didn't read his. He makes me angry.
Well, yeah, it was.
I don't know what did he say.
It was kind of gross. There was a female reporter or whatever she is. She works for ESPN, and she was talking about having a headache or something and having taken some ibuprofen. And he goes, "What do you need ibuprofen for when you could have some perk?" And you could just see on the air,
like cringe word. That's cringy.
You could just see she was like uncomfortable, and then it was disgusting.
Nice job, Perk.
It was gross.
The Perk. You got to call yourself by your nickname. That's a problem too,
yeah.
In my opinion. In my opinion, don't be calling yourself by your nickname. Come on, Moats. He's sitting over. He's coming. Probably updating and getting you guys all up to date with the news.
You know what they call me at my other job?
Huh.
Shaggy.
Shaggy?
Yeah, because I used to be a little skinnier and I had longer hair. So
yeah.
And they couldn't pronounce Caleb, so they said I looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Shaggy, that's great. I would say I don't know what they call me at the restaurants, but it's probably not nice, but we'll see. Welcome back in the morning hookup. He's going to be busting through that door any minute.
By God, that's his theme music.
Who's updating the news?
It's Jeff Moats.
There's a lot to get to with high school football.
Yeah, some great games last night. Oh.
I
I was in here in the studio training with Elijah Herbal on producing behind the scenes for high school football, and we had the pleasure of getting Omaha North and Lincoln Southwest last night.
Big time win for them last night. Here he comes.
Man.
He's updating the word on the news. Got the ugly Cubs hat on.
I'm like Dwight Schrute. I'm here. I'm here.
He had you all set up Stone Cold Steve Austin
Oh,
today.
man, I missed the cue to come through the curtain.
Well, you could have used those 2 beers over there and just like made a mess.
Do I get to sit in Dr. Dane Todd's chair
That
today?
is your chair today. You are doctor like worthy today.
Far from it.
By God.
Mochi in the house. Mochi, before we get we're going to talk a bunch of prep stuff today, and 2 great games that were played last night. One that Schmitty was on the call. You got a great one tonight that has some implications going on.
Yeah.
But there's a few one individual person we should talk about in the prep world. And there's a softball team that won as well over the week. But this East tennis star.
Oh, Hunter Nelson.
My goodness.
He went 139-0 in 4 years. From freshman to senior year, 139-0.
I don't care who you are. That is I don't want to call it. That's unicorn type stuff. 139-0 in a 4-year career, 4 state titles for that young man. That is incredible.
That is incredible, and that is noteworthy because it is impossible to go undefeated in any sport in a single season. I shouldn't say it's impossible. It's difficult. But to do it for 4 years?
I mean, I can't even fathom it.
No. We've talked about how there have been win streaks.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here, and I think you're familiar with Wahoo boys basketball.
Yep.
In the late 80s and early 90s, they went on a 114-game win streak. 114. That is still a state record. And nationally, I don't know where it's at. I think it's in the top 5 nationally. But for them, from the 1987-88 season until the semifinals of the 1992 Boys State Tournament in Class B, where they got upset by Ogallala, and that allowed Pius to – I shouldn't say it allowed Pius, but Pius won the state tournament that year, the next night against Ogallala. And so to go that far and see that win streak end in the state tournament, I mean, that's incredible. And for people that grew up around here, we do have listeners up in the Wahoo area. They know the whole story. They know the history. And for, something like that, that's still being talked about to this very day is amazing. And that's why you hear stuff like that come up in conversations when you hear stories of a high school athlete that in an individual sport that, comes in and goes 139.
That's incredible. I found an old article here that says it would rank 3rd.
Okay, the Wahoo win.
3rd. Now, it could have been up just like 4 years ago.
Okay.
Just random article.
So,
team out of New Jersey, Passaic, New Jersey, 159, 129. George Christian out of Georgia, and then Wahoo, Nebraska, 88-92, 114.
Yeah.
Would rank 3rd all time in consecutive wins.
And that in this state, I don't think will ever be touched.
That's incredible.
That seriously, that those are just amazing records. Now, if you look at other individual performances, I know we're focusing on football, but to finish the thought, when you look at boys basketball records, the overall individual scoring record in state history, all classes, is 102 points by a guy by the name of Ed Vondra up at Brainerd. And when you look at each class, it's different. You got some that are around 70, 61, 65. Class A is near and dear to my heart because my father, Jerry Motes, 57 points in one game for Lincoln Northeast back in 1964 on a blizzardy night up in South Sioux City. Hit 57, missed his first 4 shots. The game hit the next 23. Went 11 of 16 from the free throw line.
Which is still crazy. Hit 23 straight shots.
But then that shooting streak continued the following Friday night down at Pershing Auditorium against Lincoln High, where he hit his first 9 shots.
32 consecutive.
So he hit 32 consecutive shots over 2 games. But then, people are thinking now, since 1964, was that record ever going to be broken? It's been close. Andre Woolridge almost did it in the state tournament in 1992 when he scored 50. Mike McGee, who played for the Lakers in the 80s, was on 2 of those NBA title teams in the 80s that they had, with Showtime out of Omaha North, hit 54 his senior year, and he averaged 38 points a game.
Wow.
Before he had a great career at Michigan. But then it was tied in 2021 by Isaac Trout out of Grand Island, when he hit 57 up against Norfolk in an overtime victory for Grand Island. And Isaac, I think, is now entering his junior or senior year now. Junior year at Creighton.
So, because I think he, one year at Virginia.
Yeah, and he didn't play. He came back to Nebraska and now playing for Creighton. So, but there you go. There's the story.
But again, 139.0, incredible. Also, you had some Class A softball state champs out of Southwest.
Lincoln Southwest won their 5th state softball title on Monday night. 4-3 victory over Millard North. That was an interesting game over Bullen Stadium, but what a great run. They finished the year 35-3, their first state title since they won it in 2021, and their 5th overall in school history. That is such a history-laden program over there with the success they had. Mark Watt was their coach for many years, and of course he has since passed away here in the last year or so. Coach Watt really got that thing off the ground, and then Mitch Anuka, who is their head coach, played fast pitch softball here in Lincoln. In fact, he played against my dad in the old AAA league here in town over at Ballard Field, and he has had a big background in softball, and, they found a great successor in him, and I think he's done a terrific job over there at Southwest. So congratulations to them. So we're getting through, girls golf's done. You got softball that's done. Boys tennis is done. State cross country meet. They're running it today out in Kearney at the Kearney Country Club.
Not a fun day to run.
That is actually a fun meet to go watch.
You've been out there.
I've been out there. Out there a couple of times, as a matter of fact. And that course, it has interesting terrain to it. Now, when you think of Kearney, you don't think of, hills or anything. But there are
anything in Nebraska with hills.
Well, but in that part of the state, you don't think about it. But there are some hills. There are some obstacles. That is a good course out there, and that's always a fun meet. And so I think they'll start the first few races here within the next half hour out there at the country club, but they'll go and then they'll do their award presentations later on this afternoon over at UNK.
Nice. A lot of good updates there. Let's turn our attention to what's right in front of us right now. A couple of good games last night. One that Schmitty was on the call for. YZ and Elijah were on the producer side of that. Big victory for Lincoln Southwest last night.
How would you like to be in a situation where you're down 32-17 with 7 minutes left in the ball game, and you're at a point like, well, do you give up? No, you keep going. And Southwest did that, and they scored a touchdown to pull to within 7. And I think you got this queued up, YZ, where Alex Dawes recovers the onside kick here with 3 minutes to go in regulation.
There is the onside. It's loose. It's loose. Southwest recovers. He's got it. Still on top of it. Dawes.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's Chris Schmidt and Ben Butenbach on the call last night. And so Southwest gets the ball, and then with about 6 seconds left, it was Thatcher Shelton, the quarterback, that threw a 25-yard touchdown pass to Dawes for the score.
Shelton back to throw. Sets, fires, end zone, has a man, double coverage.
Got it.
Ball.
He got it.
Touchdown,
oh my
Southwest. God. Northwest quarter of the end zone. That was Dawes who caught it. Southwest within 1 to force overtime.
Okay, now you're at a point. You just scored. You're down 1. Do Do you play conservative, or do you go all in and say we're going to go for the win?
Nothing to lose, baby.
You got nothing to lose. Looks like you're playoff bound already. You got the necessary wins to get in, perhaps. You go all in. You go for 2.
Toss power. Rakowski
It's over.
is in. 2-point conversion. Rakowski gives Southwest the lead.
What did Jack Buck say? Go crazy, folks.
Yeah, that's
when
incredible.
Ozzie Smith hit that home run against the Dodgers in 85.
Good stuff.
So you had that last night. So 33-32, Southwest upsets Omaha North, who's ranked. That might alter the playoff seeding just a tad. And those playoff spots are going to be released tomorrow morning, by the way. And we'll have those posted at kfornow.com. Now, I want to go back to a week ago tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
lot
game
of
of the year, right?
Well, this last night was up there, and the one last week are both up there. While you guys were watching the debacle up in the Twin Cities, John Harris and I had a front row seat basically to watch one of the best high school. Now, they had a full house out at Waverly last Friday night. Kudos to them. Kudos to the Norris fans that showed up. Standing room only.
Wow.
Okay, and this is on a night where Nebraska's playing football. But in this day and age of technology where you have handheld devices to where you can check in and maybe watch the Nebraska game or get score updates, you can still hold games. The schools are going to go ahead and play their games because they got to get them in. They can't bump them up all the time. Anyway, I counted, there were only 3 people that I saw that had their devices up watching Nebraska. Everybody else was watching the game in front of us. It was that good of a football game. Play the last cut. I think it's 11. Cut 11, YZ. This is the game-winning field goal. Now, Landry Moss on the JV for Waverly missed 4 field goal attempts that week, I believe, in a game that they played. But their top kicker was not able to play. I can't remember what the reason was or the circumstances were. But Landry Moss, who is a sophomore, comes in, and Waverly has the ball. They're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. They're about ready to attempt a 29-yard attempt before Norris jumped offside, a little bit anxious trying to get in there and try to block the field goal. So they moved it 24 yards from the left hash to the 14-yard line, and Landry Moss became an instant hero for Waverly to stay undefeated.
Snap of the hold, the kick, it is up, and it is good! Go crazy! Go crazy! Waverly Viking fans are going crazy for sure, and the team rushes the field, and the Norris Titans are dejected, and number 1 stays perfect.
And so number 1 takes their perfect record over to Aldridge Field tonight to play Pius X. And if you know the history between Waverly and Pius in athletics, there is a bit of a rivalry.
A little bit.
Just a bit. So from a rivalry standpoint tonight, this will be an interesting game. Can the Pius team that I saw a few weeks ago in that overtime win against Standing Bear show up and pull off some miracles against this Waverly team? And I'll be honest with you, Waverly, they're good.
They're good.
They are a good football team.
Tall
Norris
task for Pius tonight.
Norris is a good team. Waverly's a good team. So that's what's going on. But we got more football tonight too.
Yep, we got another one. Also last night before you get to your game tonight, up in Elkhorn North.
Elkhorn North,
for the first time in their team's history, beat Bennington last night
and
in a very emotional
game. One of the coaches, I believe it's the head coach for Elkhorn North, had a child that passed away. Is that right, YZ?
I think 11 months old.
Yeah, and that's a very, very sad deal. And our thoughts go out to his family and of course, the Elkhorn North community. But I think last night, obviously, there was inspiration. And Elkhorn North is a very good football team. Now, they suffered 2 straight losses here in recent weeks. They were number 1. But then they go up against Bennington, who, they've been the Goliath the last 4 years in Class B, right? Last few years at least. And they pull off a big upset up there. I think it was 29-27, I think the final score in that one. Bennington's only other loss this year was to Waverly, and that was a close game. Waverly won that one 21-19. So, yeah, when we get into the playoff picture, when that's released tomorrow, I'm curious to see what the A brackets and the B brackets are going to look like. No question, because there's a lot of power in both classes. But where does Bennington end up? Where does Scott end up? I think it's probably safe to say, even after tonight, win or lose, that your top team in B in the playoffs could be Waverly. So we'll see what those things look like next or tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll have everything posted, and then we'll let you know what game we're going to be covering next week, too.
Incredible stuff right at the end of the season causing chaos.
Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be.
And you said that like you were at that game that it being at the Waverly Norris game, it encompasses what Friday night high school football means to Lincoln, Nebraska, in this state.
Well, and you're in a community, Waverly, even at times when Waverly was a team that was under 500, they always drew good crowds for games because that's the place to be on a Friday night. And then you go to a place like Pius here in town. Pius draws a good crowd
every Friday night.
Every
no
Friday
what
night home game. You know, they draw good crowds. You see good crowds out at Seacrest. Like tonight could be a good crowd for East and Southeast, considering what's at stake, because if my math serves me right, and based on what I've seen, Southeast maybe has a spot clinched already in the playoffs, but East needs to win out tonight to get in. And so the stakes are high for East, and we'll see what happens when they both meet tonight at Seacrest. We'll have that game here on KFOR tonight. We'll be on at 6:50. Tim Bob Kitzmiller is going to join me for that game tonight, and Jeff Bryan will be in studio. So we'll keep you updated on other games of note tonight, including that Waverly Pius game. I believe Beatrice and Standing Bear, they're in town tonight. Lincoln High, I believe, is in town. So, but there were other games last night. Northeast suffered a loss to Bellevue West. That was a must-win game for Northeast in order to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Maybe they could get a push. We'll see. You know, usually it takes 3 district wins to get in. And Northeast had a great year. 6-3. That's nothing to shrug. Considering that just, 2 seasons ago, you were winless?
Yep.
And you had a win streak that lasted 2 to 3 or losing streak that lasted 2 to 3 seasons.
Progress.
That's progress. And now you got a new 2-year cycle coming up. It'll be interesting to see where their schedule fits into the scheme of things to try to get that program better and better. But, you know, they could get a late push. We'll see. But there's other games going on around the area. There's a question that showed up on the chat from Troy about Millard South.
Nope.
In terms of anybody going to beat Millard South.
Nope.
You know,
nope.
I don't. I've seen them. I saw them a year ago. I saw them the year before. Even as sophomores, those kids were tough. Even as freshmen, they were tough. Last year, they were phenomenal. This year, I don't know if anybody could touch them. I don't know if Westside, if they were to meet Westside in the final, or Prep, or Elkhorn South, anybody.
Their current makeup is no.
You almost have to think that there has to be some sort of major collapse that happens between now and the championship game in late November, the week of Thanksgiving. And I don't know. They're good. You know, when you have a starting quarterback that's going to Alabama, your top wide receiver in the state's going to Iowa State, you got 11 D1 prospects or recruits on that team right now.
I mean,
it's unbelievable. And, you know, the Wheeler kid that's a running back, saw him a year ago when he played at Grand Island. He was absolutely insane. When I say that, being insane, he was that good. He's very good. So it's hard to say if anybody's going to be Millard South at this point, but that's why they play the playoffs, right?
That's why you play the game.
And I believe Sandy Creek girls in the 90s, early 2000s, I think they went on a run too, and I can't remember what their win streak was in basketball, but yeah. So thanks to Troy for that.
Thank you, Troy. We got a stump the moats question over there? We've been spitting a lot of facts already.
And you need my score prediction for tomorrow.
Got you right here.
Not gonna lie, this one's a little tough, but
okay.
He's been spitting facts all morning. So
Cannon last night for Omaha North had 4 touchdowns by himself. So my question is, do you know who? I won't even ask you the 11-man because there's absolutely no way you get this.
Whoa.
We'll go 8-man football, the most touchdowns in a game.
8-man football?
Yeah.
Drew Ott from Giltner. The only reason why I know that because he played football at Iowa.
I thought you were going to nail that one.
Any other guesses?
Well, how many would he would have had?
Well, okay.
So he had 10 in one game.
What year?
The year I was born, 2002.
That really narrows it down. What school?
Lodgepole.
Oh, that's way out west, man. I don't know.
Who was it?
Josh Frericks.
Oh,
all right, cool. 10 touchdowns.
Do you have any guesses on the?
He doubled the Al Bundy record, 4 touchdowns in one game.
Do you have any guesses on the 11-man most touchdowns in a game?
Is it 6?
No, it's 9. It's all the way back in the 50s. So.
What class?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say. He went to Gordon High School.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a lot of touchdowns.
That's way up in the Panhandle. I'm sorry. No.
Sorry, you spit a lot of other facts earlier this morning.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Or
I enjoyed it.
I guess there's John Cook. Went to Beatrice High School in 1912. Scored 14 touchdowns in one game.
He's still running. He must have been playing against a Cosgrove defense. My bad. Mochi, what's that score tomorrow? Did I say that out loud?
No. I know. It's all in your mind, right? I'm going to
11 a.m. start. Sleepy start.
Well, as always, carrying it over from the morning show, I went 24-17 Nebraska. I think the defense, I would assume they had a talking to this week, and they'd go out and they stop the ground game, or at least limit the Northwestern ground game. And, yeah, they're not going to throw the football a lot tomorrow.
No, the last
they being Northwestern.
The last 4 games, they've averaged 42 handoffs a game. Against Purdue, 50.
Wow.
They've toted the rock for 50. North of 190, I believe, in the last 4 games.
Man.
They averaged 190 in the year.
Yeah, you got to stop that ground attack. I think that's the challenge, and I think Nebraska could probably do it tomorrow, especially in a home crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing you have to consider, too, are the weather elements. How's the weather going to be tomorrow morning at kickoff?
I think it's all right. It's mild.
Cloudy.
I'm going to call it mild.
Cloudy, maybe
That's
rainy.
If it's rain, I'm going to be mad.
Well,
I don't like it, Moats.
Come prepared. Well,
I will be prepared. Don't you worry about me.
You chose to live in this part of the country.
Apparently, there's some showers coming up here in a minute.
Yeah, there's that possibility, too.
Showers. Let's see tomorrow if I'm scrolling through the app here. 11 o'clock start tomorrow. Cloudy, 52. Winds out of the east-southeast at 8.
Okay, so it'll be somewhat
the chances
balmy.
of rain are 10 to 20. There's at 1 o'clock, it's 10 right now. I mean, again, this could adjust. I'm just telling you what our good app partners at 10-11 are telling me right now.
Okay.
Modes, how far in the future does your weather senses go? Because I'm going to my first
Hey, I will tell you this. I tell people all the time. I do not have my AMS seal of approval for television weathercasting.
No, but you did do the triple Indy one time, didn't you?
The triple.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I went Thornton Mellon on everybody.
You did the
going up to the third tower at Woods Park.
That's it. Done.
And doing the triple Lindy.
You knew which way to jump.
I'll be going to the USC game next week, so I was just wondering.
I think temperatures are going to be in the 50s.
I did. You know, it's funny. I just looked at that. No, it's well, by game time, yes, because it's a 6:30 start. What they're calling for, again, we are way out. We know what
you're
Nebraska
looking at 8 days in ahead
we
of
know
time.
what we know what Nebraska can do to you or any other place. Right now, they're saying that's the first day of November, by the way. 63 for a high.
That's not bad.
No, it says right now. It says interval clouds and sunshine. High 63. Wind southwest 10 to 20. A few clouds from time to time. Evening lows 43. 5 to 10 evening. Could be a nice fall football day.
You ever thought about becoming a meteorologist?
I can do this. I mean,
what's the old
it
Lewis?
says you have a sunset at 6:20. That ain't right.
What's the old Lewis Black joke? What's the best thing you could have is being the weatherman in San Diego, California. You're on for 30 seconds and you get a 6-figure income.
Yeah, the moon phase is a waxing Gibbons and the UV is 2. It's a low.
What's the weather today, Lou? Nice. Back to you.
Are we approaching that stupid daylight savings time too?
Yeah, I think it's not the following weekend, but I think it's the weekend after. Yeah.
Can we get that out there? Well, most again tonight.
Yeah, you can join me and you can join Tim Bob Kitzmiller. We'll be out at Seacrest Field tonight, 6:50 pregame, East and Southeast. always a fun game to watch. You know, a pair of city teams that have been rivals for well over 55 years. And so we'll have that here on KFOR, all brought to you by our fine members of the KFOR Sportscasters Club.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Moats.
You bet. Have a good sports weekend,
You
fellas.
too, my friend. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do more Nebraska Northwestern and give our score predictions.
Oh, that was good.
Yes, it was.
What's the triple Lindy?
You ever seen the movie Back to School?
Mm-mm.
It's with Rodney Dangerfield. Okay, here's your homework assignment, YZ. Your homework assignment is sometime this weekend to find Back to School. I'm sure you can find it on Prime or whatever service you get, and watch it. And it's one of the big movies that Rodney Dangerfield made post Caddyshack.
Okay. I've seen Caddyshack.
Yeah. And then he did Easy Money like a couple of years after that. And the other big one he did was Back to School. But he's been in some other movies over this decade. Whoa. Hey, that's a good Kiss song, by the way. But yeah, that's where the triple Lindy reference comes from. So, anyhow. All right, news time's coming up. Thank you again.
Folks, you're into the bathroom real quick?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yep, he's coming back.
There he is. I heard the door slam.
That's what happens when you get old.
I think I'm going to spring a leak.
Ooh, woo! Heard that feedback.
Coming in hot. That was close, boys. What is that? Oh, it's my phone.
Well, I heard feedback coming through your headphones.
I'm out of my routine. I'm telling you.
Do we power down this laptop, by the way?
I think we just close it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Power down.
I don't think it'll hurt anything.
I don't think they need it this week. I don't think. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that.
I'm on the reaction show
Real
tomorrow.
Red Reaction Show. Jeff Boats. Real Red Reaction.
You got to do it like you're on the Blaze.
They're special people over there.
Hey, they're good people.
They're great people. I had a fun this morning and being on Kicks.
I used to do news for Tim and the Animal.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. That was a barrel full of laughs.
I bet.
That was awesome.
I giggled pretty much this morning a lot.
Especially when we played Urban Dictionary Jeopardy.
Oh, boy.
I'll leave it at
I
that.
did. This morning I was a part of Context Out of Context. It was pretty good.
All right, fellas.
All right, Moats. Thanks, brother. Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. Special thanks there to the Almanac. Jeff Moats hanging out with us. We forgot to mention, when the Almanac was on, you can hear him tonight, by the way, on KFOR. But right after the game tomorrow, when the final whistle drops, Real Red Reaction Show. Jeff Moats, Chris Schmidt, Elijah Herb. Tomorrow, Real Red Reaction. Right after the final whistle, get your reactions, their reactions, how you're feeling about Huskers, the Nebraska,
Whether
after they win the football game.
Whether good or bad.
Good or bad.
However
Get
you're
the
feeling.
reactions. Also in the sports world tonight, Nebraska volleyball back at it against Northwestern to be at the Bob tonight, 6 o'clock. Looks like it's on Nebraska Public Media TV tonight, 6 o'clock. They'll go for their 10th straight sweep.
I guess it's like the pink match.
It's the pink match, yeah.
Pink
I think
match.
breast cancer awareness pink match tonight. So if you have a layer of pink, throw it on, support them. They'll be in, I don't know if it's pink jerk, probably not, but it'll be like hairbands and all this stuff, socks, all the fun stuff, and be out a part of that. They do that tonight at 6 o'clock, and then they'll return back to the Bob Saturday night, 7:30 against Michigan State. They just played Michigan State about less than a week ago, or a little over a week ago, and got it done. As they will have a big weekend here. That'll be on the Big Ten Network, by the way, 7:30 on Saturday. Boy, a lot of talk about volleyball, by the way, recently, as they talk about different venues, like continue to grow the brand. Dude, they threw out Wrigley Field. Be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
Nebraska volleyball, Wrigley Field growing the game. Be pretty amazing.
That would be sweet.
But 11 o'clock tomorrow, Nebraska, Northwestern. What say you, YZ, tomorrow? How's this going to go? How you feeling? How you feeling about the score? We talked about what Nebraska needs to do, right? We know we know what they need to do. Can they do it? Can they wake up early, get going, find that complimentary smash mouth football against the Wildcats?
You know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm taking crazy pills, but
we all do.
I've seen it from this team that gives me some sort of belief that there's something deep inside them that they can find. They can will themselves to overcome adversity, block out all the outside noise. Screw last week. You know, you never want to have a players only meeting, but sometimes it's necessary. They had that. Coach Rule came out. He said what he needed to say. All right, everything's in the past. We're focusing on Northwestern. I truly do think that this team bounces back this week. I don't know if it's going to be in a big way, but I think we do see some improvements. And Northwestern, they still have they have solid parts of their team. It's going to be a carbon copy of last week against Minnesota. I think Nebraska wins the game. I don't think they cover. I got 24-20.
24-20. All right. This is all about motivation. This is all about getting your butts up early and throwing the first punch to me. You know what they want to do. You know what their identity is. You've had a week to overcome and turn the page that you got your butts whooped against Minnesota. Okay? Get back to your identity. Find out who you are. Offense, got to wake up, got to get going. Special teams is going to play a big part in this one, by the way. They have all year long. This might be the week. We see Barney to the end zone.
That's a bold call. I like it.
Okay? Minus a block in the back. He already had one. This is the week. Okay? I've got it. I'm feeling really good about waking up tomorrow. They should feel good. They should hear the noise. Can you keep the noise away? Keep it away. Don't let the fans do what Coach will let them want them to do, because they're going to be the boo birds if they want to be, and that's stupid. 35-17.
Ooh.
Nebraska finds a way to man up, stop the run. Don't let those guys get loose. They won't come out of it until we make them come out of it. Make him throw the football. The way we do that is stop the run, score points. Score points.
Yeah.
You score points, the grinded out type football teams cannot recover and come back.
It's very true.
35-17. Greg said, how about making an interesting prediction? How many penalty yards will the Commanders get caught against the Chiefs? All of them. All of them, Greg. Are they wearing all white? That's me. That's how I'm feeling. By the way, Dr. Dane Todd chimed in. He's not here, but it's 17-13. He went 17-13 Nebraska.
Ooh, low scoring.
Kind of a low scoring, grinded out ball control type game he's looking at.
Yeah.
It's going to be fast start. Fast start. The fans want this. They want to cheer. They want to support. They want to continue to do it.
This is the week where you find out what Nebraska football is all about.
11 a.m. FS1 tomorrow. You can watch it. And then, like I said, right after the game, final whistle drops, you'll get the Real Red Reaction Show right here on KFOR. You'll also get it on YouTube. You get it on Twitter, everywhere. Average Joe Sports Show will have it. They'll have it. Schmitty Elijah Moats will be on that show. Boy, fired up. I'm going with less. I'm going with less than 2 sacks, Lane said. That will be a win for me.
Yeah, what's your over-under on sacks?
I'm not throwing it out there. He doesn't get sacked all day. None.
All right.
None.
I love it.
None.
Love the optimism.
Bundle up, be a little chilly. Bundle up, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Be safe out there. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Husker Homer Friday. Have a great weekend. Go Big Red. Catch you on a Monday.